Hello you wonderful people. Today's video isn't going to necessarily be a typical video. I just kind of wanted, it's not something anyone's brought up, but it's something I thought like, oh, it'd be kind of cool to talk about, is basically talking about how much I cut out of my videos. Now in retrospect, I don't cut out a lot. Usually, I think I've brought this up before in the past, but usually when I cut stuff out of the videos, usually it's me pausing to collect my thoughts. Because in the past, well, really all dead space in general, because it's like I'll either, you know, be pausing to collect my thoughts or I'll be reading my notes. Because in the past, like a lot of times stuff like My Way of Thinking, Awkward Hump Days, stuff like that, some of my more nerdier videos, not like kind of more normal broken down videos, there are some exceptions to those that I, you know, kind of go off the top of my head. It's like, okay, before the camera turns on, like I'll like run a thought through my head. It's like, okay, I do a video on that, sit down, turn the camera on and just talk. There would be occasions where I have to stop so I can collect my thoughts, and that's that. I do prefer doing things that way. Granted, you know, it does have its drawbacks, because if I do that, sometimes I'll leave out points that I wanted to make. It's like, oh, I thought about that earlier, but then I forgot when it came time to record. Or it's something I thought up later after the recording, but it's like, well, it's too late now because I'm not about to go back and record that again. I could easily just record it and insert it later on, which there are very few occasions where that happens, but it does. But mostly it happens with nerd modes and some nerd mode broken downs. Like I'll have a script like written of like everything I want to say, and I'm very anal with my nerd modes. It's like 95% of the time, anything I say in my nerd modes is usually like verbatim what I have written down. I think like the first one or two nerd modes I did were just kind of like off the top of my head, kind of like I like specifically the Misfits one, that was just kind of all on top of my head. I don't even remember if I actually had any notes at all for that one. Maybe the Breaking Bad one I did, I think I had key points for that. Maybe, I don't remember. The point I'm trying to make is when it comes to like editing stuff, like, you know, I do cut out, it depends on the video. With nerd modes, I typically end up cutting out the most because it's mostly just me flubbing what I'm trying to say. It's like, okay, read your notes, okay, say what you meant to say. It's like, oh crap, I screwed it up. Look back at the notes, make sure I'm saying it right. Okay, So like those tend to be a little bit longer than most videos. There are occasions though where I do cut things out. Not because it's like I said anything bad, it's just because I'm like, that's completely unnecessary. Sometimes it's like, I'll get in my head, it's like, that's completely unnecessary to the video, but I'll upload it on its own in some other sense. Because like in the past, some things, there were some occasions where I'd cut things out. It's like an Awkward Hump Day video, for example. I might cut part of it out because it's like, the video is already long enough. And back then I was a little more, once again, anal about like how long my videos were. It's just like, I was like, oh, this video would have been like 7 minutes. I don't want it to be like 7 minutes. So I cut it down to like 4 minutes, and then it became like another like 2 or 3 minute video that just became its own thing as well. I think at this time, currently, the longest, like the most I've ever cut out a video has been 28 minutes, and that was a nerd mode. Why? Because I kept flubbing and like reading my notes. A combination of all that led to the video being 28 minutes. And the final video ended up being like 3.5 minutes. I think if memory serves, it was the Princess Resurrection nerd mode I did. But you know, I literally cut out about 24, 25 minutes from that. So I think that was like the most editing I've ever done. Since then, subsequently, I've done like, I think the most is maybe 10 minutes. I think it was the anime versus manga video I did. I cut that video in about half because the original video was like 21 minutes. I ended up cutting that down to 10 minutes. Not like there was anything pertinent I cut out. Mainly it was dead space because that was a particular video where I had notes laid out of like what like key points I wanted to get across. Going back to what I was kind of saying earlier, I don't cut anything out that's bad. There's certain occasions where it's like I said, it's not necessary to the video, because there's plenty of occasions where it's like I leave a lot of unnecessary stuff. It's like you could have cut that out, but I left it in anyway. So, but I cut out stuff that I feel like is extra unnecessary. Like the most recent one was I did a behind the cut video where basically a video called "Don't Get Fingered" or whatever. It's just like I was like acting obviously weird and silly in a video, and it was kind of like it was cut out from an update video, and I was like, that was definitely something that wasn't pertinent at all to the video, so I cut it out along with some other things too. That was just like that's, you know. Sometimes I cut out stuff when I'm being redundant, because I have a tendency to be redundant. There has been an occasion recently where I cut like a huge chunk out of a video. Like I think it was the video where I talked about my hometown. Obviously there's bits and pieces I cut out just because, like I said, unnecessary stuff. But there's like a whole like 2 or 3 minute segment of the video that I cut out. It was kind of very lighthearted video, but this 2 or 3 minute segment of it is somewhat like a serious and depressing topic a little bit. So I cut it out. Because like I said, like it's something that, you know, it plays a part like in my hometown. It has its own place like in what I was telling about my hometown. So it does have a part to play. It wasn't something unnecessary. It's just, it completely changed the tone of the video in my opinion. Like I said, it was meant to be a little fun and lighthearted, but that was just a little depressing. Like just like in my opinion. And so I still have that raw footage that I cut out, but I don't know whether I'm going to include that or not, like ever upload that. But you know, at this point, obviously it's going to be something on its own, but I just wasn't for sure. So, you know, it's stuff like that that happens sometimes too, that's just like, you know, there's certain things I'm like, that just doesn't fit right. It might be a little too depressing. This might be getting a little too serious, because I've said it before, I don't like being too serious with certain things, so I kind of have a tendency to like, I'll cut certain things out because I want to keep things very lighthearted. Don't want it to kind of go down like a depressing or darker like route. So there's that occasion. There are occasions though where I do simply say something stupid. I'm like, no, don't include that in the video, because that might be like, someone might take that and misinterpret it as something else. So I cut stuff like that out too. So it's something I just wanted to, you know, share with you about how, you know, I do videos. I feel like I might make more videos like this. I do have some ideas about sharing about certain things I do, so kind of get you a little bit about like a look at my thought process. I don't know. Maybe maybe there'll be more of these. Maybe there won't be. Who knows? We'll just kind of have to see. That's really all That's really all I wanted to talk about in this video. Till the next time we meet, be happy, be safe, live life to the fullest, and enjoy it. Good day and goodbye.